Hi everybody, Dr. Susan here. I just want to continue our talk today about heavy metal toxicity. Again, I see people in office every day with symptoms of heavy metal toxicity, but they're not recognizing it as that. They can't believe that's even possible. So I wanted to come to you today and tell you some of the sources where you get heavy metal toxicity from and some of the symptoms that we experience due to heavy metal toxicity. People don't even realize, but I'll tell you, if you're my age, I'm 50 years old, I'd say 40 to probably 75 years old, it's a huge span of people who were exposed a lot to heavy metals in their life between the mercury amalgams that were put in our mouths when we were children. Mercury amalgams are supposed to be safe, but they are not. There's a ton of research on that, so I just encourage you to go to even PubMed and look up the research that is now found. We were told it was safe. We were told it was safe as long as we didn't cause friction or heat it up, but it was put in our mouths. So I said this the other day on a video, you know, when you chew, every time you chew or somebody, God forbid, grinds their teeth, drinks coffee, eat anything hot, you're going to off-gas, and off-gas directly into your brain. So I think I said the other day, watch the smoking tooth video, because that is so enlightening on how even years after, you think I had these in my mouth since I'm a kid, I'm fine, right? No, you're not fine. So if you're suffering from any illnesses, chronic illnesses, it's very likely the cause started at heavy metal toxicity. Because that's exactly what happened to me. It went on for 40 years. Wasn't sick. I was never sick, like not even colds, nothing. I was never sick. Thought I was healthy until I fell debilitated. So I silently fell debilitated Monday morning on a day in May in 2011. It was just amazing that, and I didn't get to that root cause until 10 years later. Just started by uncovering layer after layer, but ultimately it was the heavy metals, because my health has skyrocketed since I detoxed heavy metals out of my body. And also when I started to detox those metals out of my body pulling those metals out of my nervous system, I started experiencing MS symptoms I hadn't had in years. So it just proved to me those were the root cause. So I'm very passionate about heavy metals. The functional blood analysis we do here in the office, I have patterns now where I trace the heavy metals. There's not even a need to do any further testing because I can see it in the analysis. But it's almost so likely when I see the age of the patient and also what they're experiencing. So I'm going to tell you, I have it written down here so I don't miss any of them, but I'm just going to read off to you some of the symptoms that are caused by heavy metal toxicity. And weight loss resistance. So who has been trying to lose weight? You're eating better, you're exercising, and weights just keep coming on. Weight's coming on without any changes. So weight loss resistance or just weight gain. You can't lose weight and you just keep gaining weight. Fatigue. How many people are fatigued in America? Almost everybody. Everybody doesn't even know what it's like to not be fatigued anymore. Chronic pain. I see this all the time, chronic pain. And patients don't understand that this is the cause of the chronic pain. So it's those heavy metals that will affect your nervous system that causes that debilitating pain in our bodies. And that is the root cause, and they're chasing after medicine, and this medicine doesn't work, or the next medicine doesn't work. No medicine is going to work. So eventually you're just going to reach the end of the medicines that can be prescribed to you, either because of too many interactions by adding too many medications, or you can't go in a high enough dose to make the pain subside. So I've talked to nurse practitioners about this, and it's a real frustration in the medical world because they can't get them off the pain meds, not even get them off them. They can't help them with them anymore. They don't understand why it's not working anymore. It's not working because it's years of chronic heavy metal toxicity. So some of the other symptoms are hair loss. I have so many patients with hair loss. This is a big one. So in today's world, 1 in maybe 3 people are going to be diagnosed with cancer. I think it's more like 1 in 2, but I'll say 1 in 3 because those were the new numbers years ago. I believe it's going to be 1 in 2 by 2030. We're up and coming on 2030, and 1 in 2 people. So think about that. That's startling. Just think of your family. If you're a family of 5 or 6, like a couple of you are going to have cancer. It used to be just like one person in the family maybe had cancer. Now it's going to be almost everybody's going to have cancer. It's really scary. And I always say to people, what's your plan to not get cancer? How are you going to plan against not getting cancer? And let me tell you, detoxing these heavy metals is the way. And I knew that in detoxing my metals, and I said this in a video the other day. My husband's like, why are you doing this? Why are you suffering through these symptoms again? But I knew I had to go through that fire to get this out of my body, because there's so many worse things up the road if I didn't do it. And cancer is one of them. So the heavy metals are constantly challenging our immune system. So that's an interference in our body. So the immune system is constantly challenged by these heavy metals. So it can't recognize cancer cells coming through. It starts to get disorganized and confused, and the immune system doesn't see it happen coming through and can't kill the cancer cells. So they start to proliferate and grow. So it's such a huge cause in today's world, let alone dementia, Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's at 50 years old. I had a patient, he was, I think in his late 40s, already suffering from the effects of Alzheimer's. It was the saddest thing I ever saw. Like, he's a young man. I mean, he's had a family, a wife, and here you have all these plans for a future, all these hopes and dreams, and you wind up having Alzheimer's or dementia at that young age. It's terrible to me. It's just shocking. So this is a big upper root cause of it. I just want people to be aware of it. It was my upper root cause. I always talk about that. I had no idea. I figured I got fillings in my mouth. It was safe. My mom thought it was safe. Everybody thought it was safe. It wasn't. And my brain was just being ravaged by these metals, and the rest of my body, my whole immune system got so disorganized. That's how it caused autoimmunity in my body. Things like high blood pressure. So these metals are also pushing the inflammation in the body. So what's the number one killer in America? It's inflammation, right? 7 out of 10 leading causes of death in America are caused by inflammation. So big things like cancer, high blood pressure, heart attack, diabetes, the major killers of this country are caused by inflammation. But what is causing the inflammation? Well, the upper root cause of that inflammation is the heavy metals in your body. Gut issues, muscle aches, pain, restless leg. So now there's restless leg syndrome, right? That's a new diagnosis that has been out only a few years. Fibromyalgia, they're all new diagnosis. There only used to be 40 autoimmune named autoimmune diseases, 40 of them, right? So now there's 160, I think, named autoimmune conditions. So what happens is when they get a group of symptoms in the medical world, they just come up with a name. They generally just call it autoimmunity now, and then just when they get a bunch of people with the same symptoms, they'll make up a name. So restless leg syndrome became an autoimmune condition, but it's due to heavy metals. Brain fog. Who has brain fog? Everybody's probably the number one complaint in my office. Infertility is a huge one. And just think, makes me so sad what families go through to have a baby, and something that can be easily fixed. And I can't tell you now how many patients that I have that we detox the metals, and they'll call back a year later and tell me they had a beautiful baby girl. We just had 2 baby girls born into our practice family. It happens all the time though, where patients will call back after a couple of years, and after we detox their metals, they got pregnant and they had a beautiful baby. So it's just amazing. Things you just need to pay attention to. Ringing in the ears, memory loss. How many of us have short-term memory loss? Allergies, asthma. I mean, the list goes on and on. And if you want this list, we have it for you. So just drop it in the comments below. Just put list, L-I-S-T, put it in the comments. We'll send it to you, because not only do we have all the symptoms of heavy metal toxicity, we have all the heavy metals listed, and where you get them from. Because the biggest thing in detox is to remove the source that it's coming from. So you have to remove the source so you don't keep putting it in your body. So a big metals, heavy metals that are in the body, and I keep talking about is mercury, because that's what I had in my mouth. I also had lead. I had twice as much lead as mercury. So I got the lead. It's a generational toxicity. I got it in utero from my mom. Who would even know? But it goes 4 generations. And I've passed it on to my kids, and they'll probably pass it on to theirs unless it dies off. I don't think it will, though. I think that I'm only the 2nd generation. So I think we have 2 generations to go. But that's why you want to detox this out of your body. So I always tell young women this, who want to get pregnant, or they're getting married and wanting to get pregnant, is to detox all this out of your body before you get pregnant. Don't pass this on to your children. But heavy metal toxicity is a generational toxicity, so you may have had no exposure, which is unlikely, because when you see all these places it comes from, it's very unlikely that you weren't exposed to it. But you don't have a choice. Like when I see the age of women, I know, especially lead. they had it. It was in the pipes, in the drinking water. We drank tap water. It was in the paint. It was in the gasoline. We were exposed to it all the time. So I have lists here of mercury, aluminum, lead, all the heavy metals, thallium, cesium, nickel. They all come up all the time. So if you'd like this list, we'd be happy to send it to you. So just drop in the comments below that you want the list. Please like and share this video. So many people are suffering today, and their upper root cause is the heavy metals. So we need to help these people. So please share this video with them so they can become aware of it. Many people, like I said, they just don't believe it. But we have story after story after story here in this office from detoxing metals. People needing blood transfusions, or the medical world recommending a blood transfusion because their ferritin levels were so low. That's the iron storage in the body. We do a metal detox on them. The ferritin levels shoot right up to optimal. They don't need the transfusion, but when they go back to the medical world, they're stunned. They're like, I've never seen this happen. How did this happen? Well, it's because we got the heavy metals out. Just something they don't look at. It's not their fault. It's just not their model. So that's why we're here. We're here to help you do that. So definitely get this list and just drop it in the comments below that you'd like the list. And we're going to keep going with this topic. Next week, we'll talk more about general toxicities, heavy metal toxicities. We'll talk about mold toxicities. So a lot of these toxicities people are really suffering from, and it's really hurting their health. And we just want to get the information out there because we want to be a help to people. Let us know if we can do anything for you. Call our office with any needs. Put a comment in below. I'm happy to share whatever information I have. I have 10 years of going through this, and I have a computers full of information, and just would love to share it. If you want more information, I'd be more than happy to give it to you. Okay? Hope you're having a great day today. Take care.